guys, Dr. Decks here. Today I'm going to experiment with a little bit of TimberTech and azek to see if I can create a cascading corner without cutting and gluing the actual board in place. I'm going to try to take some capstock and rip it down to a certain width and glue it to the end of this and see what it looks like. So just curious if I can get something out of that, and how well it looks or how good it looks will depend on if I'm gonna actually use it on my site or not. So first thing I'm gonna do is just cut a width of this. Now, this is really dangerous, what I'm about to do. So I don't recommend that you do this unless you're a world champion deck builder or cabinet maker or a professional at what you do, because this is something that I've never done before, and we're gonna put it on camera to see if we have a successful invention, I should say, of what we're doing. So just stay with me and see what we come up with, okay? So I really only need this to be an inch wide, but that's kind of dangerous on the table saw. So I'm gonna go 2.5. Try that. What I'm trying to do is, instead of having this end grain exposed like this, I want to put like Formica. It's got, my concept is kind of like Formica, like using this like a piece of Formica to glue to this and then sand it or file it down so it fits nice on the end of this, and then hopefully that works. We'll see. Actually, I'm gonna do one more because there's a scratch in this board. So right now I'm setting up the table saw for height, and always use a push stick, especially when you're doing dangerous stuff. I'm gonna use 2 push sticks really. One to feed the board and one to keep it tight up against the blade as I push through. So I'll have to find another stick really quick to do that. Like I said, I'm trying to capture just the capstock of this board. I don't want the core. I just want a very thin layer, maybe less than an 1/8 inch. So I'm gonna try that for my first try. So this is what I'm after, right here. This part. It's very thin. It could break really easy. But actually this side over here, so when I ran it through, you can see I actually curved all the way to the back side of the capstock. And one side, it ripped. I don't know, maybe the blade got a little off or something like that. One side's a little bit thicker, so I'm not gonna use this side. I would use this side, okay? So I'm gonna rip 2 more. You can see how easily this bends. That's what I want. I want something really thin so that I can take it and glue it to the edge of my board like that. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I've got one done. Let's make a couple more. Now this one turned out a little bit nicer because I didn't put as much pressure on the piece as I was running it through the saw, but it is a little bit thicker. I really don't want to see too much of this end. I can use some touch-up paint on that so it'll look pretty decent. So that's not a bad piece either. So we'll make the last one and then we'll decide which one we're going to use for our test. All right, there's our third piece. That one turned out pretty nice as well. It's perfect, exactly what I wanted. So I got my 3 pieces. I'm going to go try to glue one up now and see how it looks.
That was a lot easier than I thought it would be.
Yeah, right? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down. Now that I've made it on the table saw, I could probably technically cut this in half and get 2 pieces out of this one piece. So that's probably what I'll do. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some 2P10 glue and activator, and I'm going to glue this right to the end of this. Now because I'm ripping the edge of the board, this isn't quite as tall as I want it to be. So I'm going to pick which side of my board I want up, and then I'm going to flush the top out to there, and then the bottom will be exposed just a little bit, like so. You can see what it's going to look like on the bottom. Okay, now how do I want to cut this? Probably with a razor. Okay, here we go. Gonna kind of go with a light scribe to begin, and a little heavier. All right. So now I have 2 end caps. Now I'm thinking about maybe even shaving it down a little more so I don't have so much overhang. I'm gonna go 1 1/8 inches. So it gives me a 1/16 on each side to play with. So I'm gonna cut this down one more time. So that gives me a 1/16 of play on each side. Oops. So I still have a little bit of room to mess with it back and forth. I might have messed this piece up because I slipped with my knife. I'm gonna shave it down again. There we go. Now it's a clean cut. All right, now I don't have any room for play, but that's gonna look hot. So this is exactly the right size right now. This is the size I need, basically, to glue this on. Okay, so I'm gonna go get my glue, and when I come back, we'll glue this baby on and see how it looks. Maybe if I did make this out of fascia, I could try to make this out of a piece of fascia, and it would, I could make it longer. But I think I'm just, for this one, I'm just gonna file it at the ends. And then a little touch-up paint, I think will go a long way. All right, so here's the trick. This is called 2P10, super glue with activator. It's designed for PVC. Works really well, but you get one crack at it. If you don't succeed, you're done. So I'm gonna put the glue on one side of the board, probably gonna put the glue on my piece, my cut piece. I'm gonna put the activator right on the deck board, slap it together, and I gotta be right on point. And then it's gonna, within 10 seconds, it'll have a chemical bond that you cannot take off, okay? So normally I'm a little looser with my super glue, but today I wanna get a nice spread. So I'm just gonna use a little piece, and I'm gonna put the glue on here, and then I'm gonna spread it thin and try to spread it on the whole part. Looks like I might have used a little too much. So you have a lot of time to work with the glue as long as there's no activator near it. Once you release the activator, and I found out the other day, it is flammable, by the way, so be careful. Now once I spray this activator, I gotta hustle. You don't wanna really get the activator on the deck board because it can mar the finish, so you gotta be a little careful. So I usually grab my straw, okay, here we go. Man, I actually glued it to the table. Now I'll take my file. I might have used a little too much glue on this one. Not too shabby. All right, so this is some color matched end grain paint that we have made at Home Depot. This is Bare Ultra, I think. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and just go over my seam. Okay, we'll let that dry for a minute. All right, guys, I would definitely call this a success. This is something, it does take some time. Once you set yourself up though, you can do really cool matched ends without miters. something I'm probably gonna be doing for the future as well. And as I get better at it or I learn more tips and tricks, I'll do an update with DJ Studio Mount on this, but I'm really happy with the way that turned out. Now I can have an exposed end and it looks like it's factory. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button because I know you've never seen this before, so I've earned it. So definitely click that button, hit that bell icon. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.